Rosy Hardy Gardening. This is our question and answer session for May. Please do leave comments in that box, because although you think it's personal to you, other people may have exactly the same question, and therefore it is really helpful for other people as well. So I have had a question here about Oriental poppies and whether or not when they have finished blooming, do you need to give them the Chelsea chop? Oriental poppies put on a huge amount of big leafy growth, then you get these fantastic huge big flowers which look stunning, and then once they finish you get a seed head. Now a lot of people like to leave them there with a seed head. That's absolutely fine. What you need to do is once they start to die back, you then tidy them up then, because unfortunately giving them the Chelsea chop and tidying them up early does not make them rebloom. So you need to allow them to start dying back, and then you can get rid of the foliage, because sometimes that can get in the way of other plants that are growing in the border. Somebody has asked me the fact about their Totally Tangerine, and the fact that it's a lot smaller, shorter flowers, and asking whether or not it is the age of the plant. So with GM Totally Tangerine, if it is well fed and in a good sunny position, it should become a taller plant. So maybe over time, if it has not been moved, has not been repotted, then it is running out of food and vigour. So therefore it needs lifting, dividing and giving some extra new compost, and then the vigour will come back to the plant. When I did the latest video regarding pricking out seedlings, somebody commented and said seedlings should be held by the leaves and not by the stems. That was partly due to the camera angle of how we were filming, and I will show you what I did. And also we're wondering about the fact that it is easier to water from underneath rather than over the top. So when I prick out seedlings, I will go for the seedling leaf here, not the first leaf. I'm not touching the stem, and then the whole thing comes out. Sometimes when these seedlings are much younger, I will press the two seed leaves together and pull it up that way, and that is what somebody thought I was actually holding by the stem, but the stem is right down there. I'm only attached to the seed leaves and the main leaves. Regarding watering underneath or watering over the top, I've always found that watering over the top is better, because the water goes down through past the seedlings and the water goes down over their roots, and then you allow them to stand and you water again. If you water from below, it takes a lot longer for the water to come up and get to the roots of those young seedlings. But both methods are perfectly usable. I've been asked about Coronella glauca citrina and the fact that this lady has had the plant for a long time, really enjoyed it, has the most beautiful perfume, and it is a great plant. It can get a little bit leggy, but unfortunately she had bugs on the new growth, and she has used something called neem oil. Well, in the UK, neem oil is banned. We are not allowed to use it. So I'm afraid I can't actually talk about the use of neem oil, because I've never used it myself. But she said that it got rid of the bugs, but the bush is sad and turning yellow. All I can think of is that perhaps the residue of the neem oil has caused some damage to the roots, because it will have gone down through into the compost. Really what she should have done is physically just squashed and pulled the bugs off, given the plant a prune, and then given it some food, and probably one of the biostimulants, which is SB Plant Invigorator. Now I don't know whether that's available worldwide, but SB Plant Invigorator is a really good way of helping plants and making them able to use their own responses to being attacked by insects or by fungus and that sort of thing, and it really does help. So I would say that if it is not recovering from pruning, then I think perhaps she needs to start again. I have another lady asking me about Coronella, and she is saying that the stems of the Coronella have become very sticky. Now, this I can only imagine must be from insects, and it is the residue that the insects are producing, and it has made the stems sticky. So therefore, she probably needs to prune back and actually take the plant a little bit smaller, and that will help a lot. Feed the plant, repot it, or if it's in the ground, just give it a good feed. This last question is regarding fuchsias and the problem with fuchsia gall mite. Now, I did want to do this answer to this question last month after I had done the vine weevil video, but I needed to go and ask a lot more information from friends who grow fuchsias, and I went to the British Fuchsia Society in particular to find out what they are doing and what is possible to do with fuchsia gall mite. And there are various things that you can do. They do have a very handy little leaflet which I think is online, so you would be able to have a look at that. What they are recommending is that you have fuchsia gall mite on your plants, cut off all old material and take the plants down quite low, bag up and tie up the bag of the debris that you have taken, put it into a rubbish bin or incinerate it if that is possible to do so. Go and wash your hands. The mites can get attached to you. The mites are airborne and they can float around in the air and move from one plant to another. They'll float with water, etc. So be aware that once there is gall mite in your garden and you have other fuchsias, they will transfer very, very quickly. Do not use the same set of secateurs or snips on one plant to the next plant without cleaning them. It's all about cleanliness with this particular pest. But apparently if you cut the plants back and they regrow back up, they usually grow back clean. Make sure you clear all the soil around. If they are in containers, repot them. It's all about getting everything clean and making sure that they're growing healthily. Also, you can use particular varieties that are resistant. There is nothing that is not going to get the gall mite, but there are varieties and there are species that are resistant to the gall mite. So I hope this helps. Also, cold weather. They do not like colder areas. So at the moment in the UK, gall mite is restricted to the southern half of the UK. Anywhere that it gets colder, i.e. once you get up into Yorkshire, probably Derbyshire as well, so maybe say Derbyshire, southern Yorkshire and further north, there isn't gall mite because it is cool. So that is something to be aware of. Just be very, very cautious of what you look at. Do go onto the British Fuchsia Society website and ask questions of the people who you are buying the plants from, who are the experts. Thank you very much for sending in your questions. Thank you for watching the videos, and please do subscribe to the channel.